Hi, 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 Kayla. How are you?
I'm doing good and yourself.
Well, doing okay so far. Um, you do you think how do you get out of when the ball's not falling for you in games or you're not getting the shots? How do you deal with that? What do you just spend extra time shooting, or what's your process you go through?
Yeah, I just continue. I don't stop anything just because my shots are not falling or whatever. But I do other things in the game. The game is just more, it's more to the game than just making shots and trying to get the ball. There's other ways you can impact the game. And that's what I try to do when my shots are not falling or whatnot. But I mean, I keep everything consistent. I don't stop not coming to the gym and shooting because my shooting's not right. I just keep everything in knowing that it's gonna come. But that doesn't stop me from doing other things to help my teammates win.
Like the big rebound in game one, against Washington, that was huge at the end of the game. Where do you get your personality to be so even keeled? Because we've known each other a long time. I've never seen you get too high and I've never seen you get too low.
Yeah, I think just comes from my parents, what they instilled in me, just being humble, just knowing my road, how I got here. Uh, I just try to stay mellow with everything that I do. Because, you don't know when it's your last, so I just keep it one day at a time and do what I can um, with what I have.
What are your parents' name again? I'm sorry, I just forgot.
Uh, Lewis and Mertine Thornton,
That's what I thought. Okay. Were they both in the service or just your dad?
just my dad.
Okay. Beautiful. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you.
Thank you. I'm good. There's only one person in
Yeah, you're good.
there. Okay.
In the first meeting between these two, what would you do differently than the first game between you and Atlanta? Besides win. Oh, you're muted.
Yes, I say, could you unmute for me, Coach? Thank you.
Probably trap Tiffany Hayes, be a little bit more aggressive on the defensive side of basketball, and try to control Billings a little bit better. But they're a different team. They're playing well, and we're at home, and we have to make a statement at home. So I think the biggest thing is just closing the half, controlling the last 5 minutes of the game, and controlling Tiffany.
Have you challenged your guards for this game, or do they even need challenging?
Challenge the guards for every game, but it's very important for us as a team, as individuals, to be ready to play one-on-one basketball, being able to defend, keep the ball in front, force contested jump shots outside the lane. Because when the play break down the last 8 minutes of the shot clock, the last 8 seconds of the shot clock,
Right.
they're going one-on-one. They're going one-on-one. And so it's going to be key for us to keep them in front, not force another rotation, and allow them to have offensive rebounds.
I came up with a stat today
Mhm.
because I don't have anything else to do.
Okay.
I got the grass cut the other day, so I'm good. And the stat that I came up with was Courtney Williams in the wins this year. She averaged 22 points a ball game. And you said to me the other day that it is her team. It seems like if you can kind of control her, I don't know if anybody can stop her, control her, your margin of error gets better. Would
Yes.
that be fair, do you think?
Yes, I totally agree. And I say that because Tiffany Hayes have been out majority of the season. But now she's back. But the energy that Courtney Williams brings on both sides of the basketball, the way she leads that young team is incredible. But we have to really contain her. Rike is starting off on her. She's taking it as a challenge, but it's a team effort across the board because they still have Odyssey Sims, McDonald's playing well. Williams, Elizabeth Williams gonna be Elizabeth Williams.
Mhm.
Billings is high energy. You have to match her energy. And then they have players coming off the bench that are pretty good, especially if Candace Dupree plays, Bradford. We just got to really just play our game, really execute on both sides of the basketball and pay attention to detail, what we do and what we do well.
How excited is it for you? You mentioned it. I went back and looked at our first press conference about Arike taking the challenge of defense. How exciting is it for you that when you say to Arike, okay, here's your challenge for Atlanta, and I've seen her, she gets that game face on,
Mhm.
like, okay,
Mhm.
me and you
Right.
ain't gonna win.
Right.
How exciting is that for you to watch her maturation and her growth on defense?
I mean, I get super excited, because that's the next step. That's the next step to being MVP of this league, being a leader of this, her franchise, and winning championship. Her energy, the team follows her. And when she plays defense, our team get fired up. I challenged her today and defensively, she thought she was guarding Courtney Williams today. She played with a lot of energy and a lot of passion today as well. But they're all young and they're all friends and stuff. They know each other games better than we know their game. And so now it's just a challenge. It's just stepping up to the plate and doing your best and know that your team is behind you.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
Still talk about you on my walk, by the way.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Stop.
Thank you, Ron. Do we
Appreciate it.
have any other questions for Coach Johnson? Just use the raise your hand feature if you have any other questions for Coach Johnson. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us today, Coach. You guys just hang in here and we will be right back with Arike Ogunbowale. Thanks, y'all. All right, next up, we are joined by Wings guard Arike Agumbawale. If you have any questions for Arike, please use the raise your hand feature, and then we are going to go in the order that those questions are received. Arike, if you don't mind, oh, perfect. Arike, if you don't mind using that unmute button for me, that'd be great, and we will go ahead and get started. Ron, go ahead and ask your question.
Good afternoon, Enrique.
How you doing?
Vicky and I talked at the beginning of the year about your outlook on defense this year and how you came in so focused. And I asked her about it just now because I gave her a stat that in wins this year, Courtney Williams scores or averages 21 points a game. And she said that today you looked as though you were guarding Courtney Williams in practice. Talk about the challenge defense. Everybody knows what you do offensively, but I don't think we talk enough about your defense, how great it's been this year, and the challenge you have guarding somebody like Williams.
I think regardless of who I'm guarding, I think I go in with the same mentality that, I need to try to stop my player first and then, help the team defense. I think that's been big too, getting in passing lanes and getting steals and just being there to help, being active and talking, that helps with everything. So really me just being more vocal this year and talking and communication helps a lot with defense.
Do you think the team feeds off your defense?
Definitely. I mean, when I'm getting in passing lanes and stealing and it picks up the tempo and I think everybody comes along with it too. So I think whenever our defense generates offense, that's a lot better for our team.
Thank you, Enrique. Look forward to seeing you.
Thank you, Ron. Next, we're going to go to Jasmine Harper. Jasmine, go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, Enrique. It's Jasmine here with Winsitter. So your last two games, you've been going off. So you scored at least 25 points and shooting 50% from the field and the perimeter. Does the momentum pick up from here as we wrap up the regular season and head into the playoffs, or should we expect a little bit more? What do you have left for us this season?
I have, everything I have left. Like I go into every game, no matter what place standing we're in, what it's for, the same mentality. If it was the first game or the last game of the season. So nothing's going to change. I'm going to play my game, how I always play, intense and, try to get wins.
Okay, and if you don't mind, can you speak a little bit on where that intensity comes from, like that mindset that nobody's going to stop you and you're going to get to the bucket one way or another?
It's been like that, forever. I can remember even since a kid, I just always have that type of mentality. Whenever I step on the court, whatever it is, I want to win and I want to try to be the best. So that's been there for forever, and it just carried on to the pros.
All right, thank you, Enrique.
Thank you, Jasmine. And now we're going to go back to Ron. Ron, do you have another question?
And one quick question. I read the story that when you were 3 years old, you played on a Nerf basketball and your mom was with you. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of basketball hoops, so yeah.
It's one of those little Fisher Price things.
Yeah, we had those.
I'm trying to get my 2-year-old grandson to dunk, but he'd rather, I think, just throw stuff at it or something. Because we got one in our den and we've got one at his house too. But I thought that was a great story about how you were 3 years old and you're already concentrating on making a shot.
Yeah, I've been locked in since legit.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much for joining us today, Enrique. Hey, guys, we will be right back here tomorrow starting at about 1:15 with more Dallas Wings practice availability. Thanks and have a nice afternoon.
All right.